The ETC framework. What is it and how is this going to impact your business in 2026? Before I dive into it, be sure to like and subscribe for more on the future of business in AI integration. I'm going to jump into my mirror board here as I do, and I really want to break down what this ETC framework is. So if you're a professional service, a service, we all come from some sort of expertise. We've spent years of understanding our craft, selling whatever this framework may be, and bottling it up and then reselling it. This is what agencies do, whether you're in investor relations, whether you're a chiropractor or a personal trainer or a marketing agent, whatever it may be, we've had these expertises that we've been selling over an X amount of time. The big thing with this ETC framework is it allows you to take these professional services and these services that we have that we sell day to day and gives you the ability to scale it without scaling headcount. And I'm going to break this down in this video. So the ETC framework stands for three things: education or expertise, community, and then tools and the technologies. And I've broken this down into a loop here because I want to really explain what the importance of these three buckets are. Educate or expertise. So like I was saying, we all are experts in our own field. Again, whether it's an agency, whether you're running ads, content, newsletters, whether you're a fitness trainer, we're investor relations, whether you're a doctor or a chiropractor, whatever it may be, we have learned and we have been selling our expertise. The problem with service-based businesses is you get to a point where if you bring on more people, you have to bring in more headcount. And then this is where businesses continue to build that chaos in behind the scenes. The next part with it is as our businesses grow, to add more revenue, we decide like if we can add more services on, we're going to bring in more revenue. But in a matter of fact, that just creates more overwhelm for our businesses in the long term. So what this ETC framework allows us to do is take that one thing that we believe we are the best at. It gives us the ability to scale it utilizing AI and the technology. So let's just use email marketing for an example. If you are an email marketer and people come to you and you help with Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all of these holidays to get out the top quality emails for a specific business. You have strategies, you got frameworks, you have this certain way that you write your copy, you've got tonality, you know how to get the open rates. All of these frameworks are the value on why people come to you. The problem with it is as our businesses continue to grow, the cost of doing business and the us being able to do this internally is becoming something that more and more businesses want to do. Alex Hormozi speaks about this a lot, is where he'll bring in a business, he'll have them teach his internal team so that they can go and scale on their own. So what this gives you the ability to do is like, if you could take those frameworks and put them in a way where you take your strategies, you take your frameworks, your strategies, the examples of past copy, past emails that you've sent out, and you bottle it up into a AI agent or a prompt, a knowledge base, and you build out your orchestration. So there's three buckets when building out a AI agent. There is your inspiration, there's your transform, and then your prompt. Then you've got the human in the loop. And this is where it's extremely important for you as that expert to be able to train the agent to be at its highest quality. The inspiration is your, in this case for the email marketing, would be your client's information. I'm getting my client's information in, it's going through the transform and the prompt, and then I am essentially approving it as the expert to create, which is the output itself. And that's the final output. From there, it's you're doing the marketing for them, they're hiring you. But again, like this is where you get the friction of building your business. Do you have enough people to be able to know the strategy, who can create the same quality for more and more clients as you're bringing in? And to the other point, do clients want to continue to hire us? Client work is a lot of work. And if we have the ability to scale this strategy and this expertise through AI, this is where you're going to create a lot of value for your business itself. So what we show businesses how to do here is you take this information, and when you're building out your AI orchestration, you put in the examples that you've done. You've put in the strategies that you run on, the frameworks that you run on, the success stories that you've had, and you put all this information into an AI orchestration, because then what you have the ability to do is take these three and scale it through the education and the community part, which I'm going to dive into. This is where your clients itself can come in and they can utilize your AI agent. They can follow your processes to be able to do the work themselves. So this isn't going to give them the 100% output that you're going to deliver for them. But if it could get them 60, 70, 80% of the way there, and then you show them in a community factor, so creating a community here, this gives you the ability to help them scale their business by giving them still your strategies, your frameworks, your expertise bottled up in those AI orchestrations without them getting access to what the true IP is. And this is where you start scaling it. Also with AI, and where we believe it's going to continue to go, is the authenticity and have that community aspect back in the way that we sell and the way that we communicate and the way that we run businesses. We believe it's going to be extremely important, especially coming into 2026. There's going to be so much noise with the amount of people who are doing AI content and saying they can do all of this expertise. But the moat for your business is going to be a community that goes to war for you, that can speak on behalf and continue to bring more people in, because it's the difference between you and somebody else. And it's a matter of trying to get that money, and using that community to be able to build that group of people is going to be extremely valuable. As you continue to build this community, what they're going to help you do is, one, they're starting to do all this work themselves, and you're showing them, whether it's a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis, in more of a cohort setting. They're going to teach you how to tweak your strategies and your prompts to make them even more valuable for them, but most importantly, valuable for yourself. This is where the growth by collaboration in this AI space, I believe, is the most important thing that you can focus on. How can you leverage your expertise with somebody else's expertise and somebody else's business information with your business information to be able to grow with each other? So this is where you take your expertise, the community to continue to build, and then you plug in the tools and technologies, which I kind of touched on in the prompt and the output aspect. So this is where the tools and technologies, whatever tool you may be using to be able to build this ecosystem, this is where it will continue to solve itself. So I created this flywheel as well, because like I was saying, the more that you can bottle up this expertise, allow the tools, the AI, to help amplify that, and then continuing to create this feedback loop between your customers itself, this is where you're going to continue to grow. I've circled it around the community because to me, it's like, if you can protect your community and keep them away from all the noise and all the shiny objects that are on the market, this is where you become an extreme asset to their business as well. So by leading by your expertise and bottling up whatever you believe you're the expert at, taking your frameworks, taking your strategies, taking past success stories, and building it into an agent and into a knowledge base, leveraging the technologies that are on the market as a tool to help scale that, you can now give access to your clients in what I'm calling a SaaS model, service as a subscription, and just getting them to a point where they become that final human in the loop, where you're teaching them what's good and what's not, so they become the asset for the business. You can charge less by still giving them the same amount of work. And then from there, if they still want to hire you, you have justified the higher retainer because you've given them a taste of what your business can do and your expertise without giving everything away to them. So it's kind of like a new aged subscription model with kind of like a free trial, but it's got some sort of retainer or subscription to it. Now, not in all cases you could do this and you could have a free model where people are getting access to it, but we suggest people charging any sort of subscription, whether it's $100, $500, $1,000 a month, to be able to be a part of you providing your expertise, educating people on a regular basis, giving them access to the IP, which is your service at scale. And then as you can continue to grow, like for the example I was using, email, you can add on more things because now it is trained on their information. I'm going to get into other videos on how you can look to customize and train these agents in a more onboarding SaaS-like process without diving in and building a SaaS. But I wanted to really break down what I believe is going to be one of the most important frameworks your business can follow so you can grow. Instead of onboarding 10 clients a month, you can onboard 100 clients a month with doing less work, still providing the output at the highest quality that you know you can do, giving yourself a lower ticket model while still being able to show them why they should pay you the premium dollars, and building your moat, which is your community, which is going to outlast all of these other shiny objects that are on the market. I've repeated myself a couple times because the expertise, you really have to look at, what am I the best at? Why did you start your business? What was that first thing you started with? Because typically there was one thing that we started with and we've expanded on our businesses as it's continued to grow because we believe that was the right thing. But with AI, you don't have to do that anymore. You can scale, you can simplify with still providing massive, massive value to the businesses that need you. We, as terms of a success story, this is something that we do all the time for our business. So you're saying, well, Jeff, is this something that actually works for me? Have you done it before? We've done it in a couple cases and I want to explain them to you. For the one, we took a community of over 20,000 people. So they had already the community there. So they already had one of the boxes done. And they taught people how to write best-selling books. The problem with what it was is they taught people how to write the books, but they still needed to go and hire ghostwriters to be able to write the books for them. So what we did is we took all that training and we took how they wrote books and how they taught them and how writers would actually do it. And we built an AI tool around the writing process. Then on the education basis, they still had to work with the tool at the end to be able to make some edits, but we were able to save them thousands of dollars on a ghostwriter who would essentially just ghost them anyways. And they were able to get a higher quality output in a shorter period of time. This company was able to generate over $2 million in 10 days. Now, I know that is an extreme use case, so we've got a couple extras for you as well. One, ourselves. At Cloud 37, this is something that we're doing on a regular basis. We host webinars where we go and we bring people in and we create these interactive experiences where when people come into our webinars, we actually create custom content or custom outputs depending on what we're teaching at that time to really show people, one, we're the experts, we're the authority in this space. Two, I'm going to give you something custom within your business to what our expertise is. And then three, at the end of it, if you want to continue to work with us, this is what it's going to cost. So we're doing kind of a freemium model on the front end. We ran a webinar and we ended up having a 14x ROAS, which is amazing in terms of return on spend. But the big number that really stood out to us is we had over 55-minute watch time on average to all of our viewers during a 60-minute presentation. Crazy to think of the interaction because they are invested. It's custom, it's different, and it's something that really showed them true value to what their businesses are going to be able to have access to. The problem with in our world is there's a lot of education, there's a lot of shiny objects, but just being able to position ourselves on how we've done it, taking them through the inception of what they're going to be able to see at scale if they continue to work with us is what's separating us from everybody on the market and why we do it different. So it's not a matter of how to do it right now. It's really understanding what you do best and understanding where your strategies are, where your frameworks are, where your success stories are, and building an agent around that, AI orchestrations. Then from there, you being the expert, you educate the people, your potential clients, at a lower retainer rate without having to do all the done for you work. The clients insert their information, whether it's Black Friday information, Cyber Monday, doesn't really matter, just using those as an example, and then they get the output. You educate them on how to make the tweaks, and then they have to go and set it up in their own business. You show them the pain, you give them the value, you become the authority, and then they continue to pay the high retainers on the back end, and it becomes a filter for your business. We're really excited. I am extremely excited about this framework in the future of AI and this new SaaS model, service as a subscription, to be able to help professional services scale their client base without scaling their headcount. The profit that you're going to be able to generate. And I'm going to be creating more videos around this SaaS model. And as we can continue to roll out more case studies and success stories, and be sure to like and subscribe, because I'm going to continue to push how businesses should be running into the future and how AI as a tool will help amplify that. So if you haven't already, I'd love to make a comment below. What's your expertise? What do you believe you're the best at? What you started with? Have you tried this before? Do you have a community? I'd love to be able to help point you in a different direction. And if you make any comments, I'd love to be able to make a video on that as well. But hope this helps. And as always, stay dialed.